Am I the asshole? For telling my friend she is ungrateful about being a stay-at-home mum? The other day, I went to lunch with 4 mom friends of mine. I'm a stay-at-home mother and so is one of the other moms. Of the other 3, one works part-time and the other 2 full-time. One of the moms that works full-time mentioned about how they had started to pay for a cleaner to come in every other week. They both work full-time and have 2 kids and were finding they couldn't keep up with all the chores. The other stay-at-home mother was agreeing with her about finding it difficult to keep the house clean when her husband does only a few chores inside the house. She told us her husband's main jobs are cooking dinner, cleaning the bathrooms, and looking after the yard. In my opinion, that's a more than fair distribution of chores considering her husband works full-time. They have 1 child and no pets. I mentioned to her that it actually sounded pretty fair and that my husband has 0 cleaning chores and mostly only cooks on the weekends if he wants. I told her as he works full-time to provide for our family, I consider it my job to do the majority of the household chores. This isn't gender-related in my opinion. If we both worked I would agree about splitting chores equally, or if I worked and he didn't I would be expecting him to do the majority of the housework. I have 5 children, the youngest 2 aren't in school and I'm a carer for my husband's grandmother, yet still it's easy to set aside a couple hours a day for household chores. She strongly disagreed with me and she thinks her husband should be doing more and told me couples should split housework equally. I told her that I think she's being ungrateful to her husband who allows her to be a stay-at-home mother even now their child is older. I asked her what she does all day if she expects him to do half the chores and that she just wants an excuse to be lazy. In the end lunch was ruined. She called me anti-feminist and an asshole. 2 of our friends took her side telling me off for judging her. Was I the asshole here? I feel like I was pointing out the obvious. Being ungrateful to her husband who allows her to be a stay-at-home mother even now their child is older. I asked her what she does all day if she expects him to do half the chores and that she just wants an excuse to be lazy. Perhaps she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mother. Also, allows. You're the asshole. Edit. Holy fuck people. Imagine, if you will, that some parents don't actually want to give up their own income for what seems like forever. And imagine further, that any time they bring up the idea of returning to work, their partner talks them out of it. 2 of our friends took her side telling me off for judging her. You were judging her. Both of you stay-at-home mothers have individual arrangements with your husbands that more or less work for each of you. Yours seems to mesh quite nicely with your personal values about how work should be split up between you and your husband. But rather than accepting that hers is different and that she may change more, you compared yourself to her and conveyed your own moral superiority by calling her ungrateful. You're the asshole. I'm as armed too, but my youngest kids are only 1 and 4. I'm pretty busy. But having one kid who's already 10 years old, and obviously is at school all day, how busy could she possibly be? When my older kids were that age, I had a lot more time for things. It sounds like her husband does his fair share. Maybe telling her this at a group lunch wasn't the best idea, but it came up. So I get why you said something. Unless she's somewhat disabled or has another reason she can't cover most of the housework, I'm going with not the asshole. Wait. She has a 10-year-old. Stays home all day, her husband works full-time and his jobs are cooking dinner, and cleaning the bathroom, smiley face, GTFO, and she wants him to do more? WTF? Not the asshole. She is a stay-at-home mother, expects her husband to work full-time, and do half the chores. She expects a lot. It's okay to point out the obvious. That's not how that normally works. Wow, that's just cray. You obviously weren't the asshole. I don't know what's going on in the comments. You're absolutely right, and it does not make you an asshole for calling her something as mild as lazy, crying face. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your delivery sucked though. You shouldn't have called her lazy. Not the asshole, and I'm appalled by the number of people calling you the Your friend has shitty opinions and values and you were right to point it out. The way you describe how you would share the workload depending on who is working in your relationship makes complete sense. Not the asshole. I'm so surprised at these you're the asshole votes. I don't think Hopi is the at all. She's being a good friend by being honest and telling her friend what an ungrateful lazy person she's being. Must be other lazy stay-at-home mothers voting you're the asshole lol. Not saying all stay-at-home mothers are lazy, just the ones that agree with ops lazy friend. I agree with you, but I'd probably not bother arguing much with people over it. Say it once and then let it drop. Not the asshole. You called her out and she didn't like that. What else are people supposed to think when she doesn't even have her kid at home for half the day? What exactly is she doing that requires her to need her husband to do more chores around the house while he's supporting the family by providing a roof, food, and other essentials? You're not anti-feminist and you're not TA. You're the asshole. Telling someone how they should feel and behave is asshole behavior. You are entitled to your opinion, as are your friends. However, you expressed your opinion in a way that undercut your friend's right to her opinion. Having an I'm right and you're wrong attitude makes you a poor friend. Be more supportive of your friends if you want to keep them as friends. Not the asshole. Feminism is no excuse to not carry your weight in your home. I'm a woman and I'd be damned if I'd work all day, to come home to cook dinner and clean bathrooms. Lol, sounds like your friend group just got smaller for the better. Not the asshole. I'm honestly shocked at the amount of people that think she is TA. Her logic seems perfectly sound, again not the asshole op, not even close. Stay-at-home mother is a cushy gig compared to FT work. People need to quit acting like this lady is on homestead in 1850 picking vegetables all day and fighting off bandits and wolves by herself. Not the asshole. I am a Sard and I try to do as much as possible. I actually can't wait until our daughter is in school so I can go work. Not the asshole. If your friend's child is 10, that means they are gone from at least 7:45 to 2:45, so what does she do all day? She has plenty of time to get stuff done if she wants to. Not the asshole. How did I know that most people would defend the ridiculous and yes, lazy ungrateful friend? This sub is crazy today. You're the asshole. You absolutely are judging her. You're doing it right here in your post. I have been a stay-at-home mother and a working mom, and I will always choose to be the working mom because staying home to raise kids is not for me. Our experiences are not the same because we are not the same, and it's really unfair to judge another person based on your experiences. You guys sound like really shitty friends. Not the asshole. If I worked full-time and still came home and had to make dinner for me and someone else who doesn't work all week, I'd be pissed, smiley face. Yes, being a stay-at-home mother is a difficult job. But to claim he should be doing all of it as well as working while she sits on her fat lazy ass is insanity, skull. Not the asshole. When I didn't work I did every household chore. My husband just went to work and sent money to the checking account every other Friday. Totally was fair in my book. Only an asshole would expect him to come home and be expected to help me. ESHU for calling her lazy. We all have different abilities and maybe that woman can't keep up. I have 5 kids and take care of grandma and still keep a good house smacks of competitiveness and judgment. She is because she is shit-talking her husband, and it does sound like he contributes a lot more than he needs to. It's really awkward to be sitting there, listening to someone complaining about something like that. Not the asshole. This thread is full of people that want to be bums. What kind of marriage has one person doing all the external labor and half the internal labor? Her one child is in school all day and is old enough to pick up after herself, and she is complaining she doesn't have time to clean. What the hell is she doing all day? I would have said something too. Not the asshole. You could have said it more tactfully, but she isn't pulling her weight.